What is up, everyone? Let me get this camera straight. What is up, everyone? And welcome to a very special edition of The Danny Show. I'm your host, Daniel Cody. This is where obviously I give commentary and reviews on all things wrestling. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this Monday for a review of WrestleMania Sunday last night. Oh my gosh. Best by far, by far one of the absolute best WrestleMania nights ever. Is all I'm gonna say that for the intro, but it was just one of the best I could not ask for anything more. After what I saw last night, I could not ask for anything more. And since we are still in Philadelphia for Raw tonight, I think in honor of Philly, I'm gonna have to rewatch WrestleMania Sunday in Philly because it was just that good. But first and foremost, let me just start by saying in the intro last night, first off, and it's very ironic that we were it was Sunday in Philly because that God Bless America intro, I almost felt like I was in church myself with the way they did the song God Bless America. And it is so ironic because for 39 years, the we have always started with America the Beautiful. Now, at the first WrestleMania, which the American Express were there, unfortunately losing to Nikolai Volkov and Iron Sheik. However, ironically, when they were there, it was the Star Spangled Banner. But most WrestleManias have always been America the Beautiful. But they did God Bless America last night, and Saturday they did the Star Spangled Banner, which is ironic because it almost breaks tradition to just start new tradition. And maybe that's what we can expect because we are in the Triple H Paul Levesque era. And I don't know about you guys, but I agree with Paul Heyman when I say that I too am a Paul Levesque guy. Speaking of Paul Levesque, Triple H, I Stephanie is back on screen. We saw her wearing her original ECW attire from the Alliance era. We saw her rocking that again, which I thought was very cool. But last night we saw Stephanie McMahon come back on WWE screen. Now, that's which is good because Stephanie McMahon being back, she's one of the good McMahons. Even though there is a huge flaw in the McMahon family, Stephanie and Shane are not the flaws. And I never thought I would hear a pop for Stephanie because she has been an on-screen villain for so long. But last night rather, she was the good one. And it's great to see her back. And I hope the family is holding up well with all the stuff that's going against their father, even though it has been proven that it is almost evident that Vince has done some terrible things. And ironically, one of the best WrestleManias has nothing to do with Vince McMahon. And I'm glad for what he has done in the past, but ironically, one of the best ones is without Vince. But Stephanie is still there. It would have been nice if Shane was there, but let's get down to business. First off, I have a lot of notes, but like the church say, I'm going to preach it like I feel it, and I'm going to just review it like I feel it. First match, both men had great entrances. Drew McIntyre paid tribute to Roddy Piper, who was at the first WrestleMania. Seth Rollins paid tribute to Philadelphia with his own special entrance that almost looked like New Orleans, but it was not. It was a Philadelphia, something that starts with the letter M, I don't know, but that was an awesome, awesome entrance. I don't know if I put this in any of my videos or if I just typed it in a wrestling comment section that wasn't toxic, but I did say to myself, I don't know if I said it to you guys, but I did say that CM Punk was going to be a factor. I thought CM Punk was going to cost Drew a chance to become world champion and let Seth Rollins retain. But it didn't work like that. But one thing about my prediction that was true was that CM Punk was a factor because after countless Claymore kicks, overcoming a couple of curve stunts and pedigrees, Seth Rollins would fall short to Drew McIntyre after again countless Claymores, and it you almost felt happy for the guy, even though Drew McIntyre was a heel. You almost felt happy for him because he so wanted and needed to win that match in front of the audience. However, after kissing his wife or girlfriend, he went and taunted CM Punk, which was not a good move. He taunted CM Punk. CM Punk didn't take any crap from him and attacked him and used his cast, took the cast off his arm and used it on him, blew a kiss to Drew McIntyre's woman, and lo and behold, Damian Priest. And I kind of had a feeling this was going to happen. But Damian Priest picked the right night to cash in because he cashed in Samantha Irvin. By the way, Samantha did an amazing job both Saturday and Sunday. Where was Mike Rome to keep everybody from losing their energy or losing their voice and excitement? I don't know, but I know this. Samantha did amazing. Samantha was shocked. You could hear it in her voice as Priest cashed in and won the world championship from Drew McIntyre. And now almost all of Judgment Day are champion. Rhea is champion. Priest is champion. 2/4 or 2/5. Yeah. Priest, Rhea, Simp 19 Dom, and Finn Balor and JD McDonough. 2/5 of Judgment Day are champions in WWE. So the Judgment Day is really going to run Monday Night Raw. Pretty nice street fight between the Street Profits with Lashley versus the Final Testament, with Paul having the manager of the Road Warriors having his first WrestleMania. Apparently, you would think that when you think of the Road Warriors were in the street fight in Chicago and they were a part of Boston, which they won that battle royal. However, in that one, they were accompanied by Sonny, who's usually, if I remember correctly, a heel manager at the time. But she accompanied the Road Warriors and made herself look cool in that moment. She should have just stuck to that instead of drinking alcohol. See, this is why I'm straight edge. Because now, when we talk about her, we can't talk about her taking Paul's place and running with the Road Warriors at WrestleMania 14. Legacy, drugs and alcohol, DUI. Darn it. Make better choices, people. But moving forward, we had a great match between the Final Testament and the Street Profits with Lashley. B-Fab putting Scarlett through a table. I was very concerned that Bubba Raona Dudley would do that because we all know Bubba Raona Dudley has a little bit of a fetish for putting women through tables. And he just likes putting everybody through tables, but he has a special fetish for putting women through tables, in case you haven't noticed. But luckily, that did not happen. Nonetheless, the Street Profits would emulate the Dudley Boys. What's that? Which was awesome, and would end with Montez Ford putting, I believe, Cross through a table, and ending the night at WrestleMania with Snoop Dogg on commentary and Bubba Ray as a special ref, and he puts the glasses on. ECW Town. We had a pretty nice match between LA Knight versus AJ Styles. AJ Styles changing his theme. And we saw him earlier come into the ring with this Slim Jim Carr, which I thought was great. AJ and them. It wasn't as epic, but it was still pretty nice. It was the first person to get their finisher in, won the match. LA Knight having his BFT, and it is one of his greatest wins at WrestleMania. And even though ironically LA Knight and Eli Drake were both in Impact TNA, LA Knight and AJ have never fought in WWE one on one. Also, love the tributes to the Hall of Famers as well as the tribute to Bray Wyatt. Well appreciated in Philadelphia. And it's even more ironic because it was in Philadelphia in 2022, in the fall of 2022, where Bray Wyatt made his return to WWE. So it's rather appropriate that in Philadelphia we give honor and respect to Bray Wyatt, whom we dearly miss. And my heart still goes out. My condolences to the family. Can't imagine burying someone you love. So, such a great tribute to Bray, and we all still miss him, love him. God bless his soul. Speaking of which, the next match was a tribute to ECW as Kevin Owens came out with his Titantron in the colors of ECW, which is dark red and purplish with black lights and all. Great tribute to that. He came out and had Randy and himself ride down a golf cart whereas Logan Paul came to the arena with his own truck. And guess who showed up tonight? I Show Speed was the guy behind the Prime mascot. All these YouTubers, who knows? One day, maybe I could be one of the Prime guys. Except I'm not a Logan Paul fan because he's such a good villain on screen. So maybe I could be a Prime surprise and turn on Logan Paul so that my favorite guy can win. Who knows? But last night, I Show Speed was in the Prime mascot bottle and got kicked 10 miles back by Randy Orton. This is Sparta! We all know in Sparta he spits before he kicks. And obviously I'm not going to spit on the screen. That's too gross. However, Randy Orton delivered the Sparta kick, but what was so hilarious was when Randy Orton, before giving the RKO, was like, oh, 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 dropped him with the RKO. That was hilarious. To be quite honest with you, it would have been perfect if Kevin Owens had won because as last year, now remember, Saturday last year was one of the best endings of a Saturday besides Bianca and Sasha. And The Undertaker in 2021. WrestleMania Saturdays have always been my favorite endings. But it would have been perfect if both guys had won their respective championships for the brand they were on. Sami Zayn won the Intercontinental Championship for Raw. It would have been so perfect if Kevin Owens had won the U.S. Championship on SmackDown. However, with all the chaos, Logan Paul is still champion. Son of a biscuit. But I'll tell you what we did get great results on, and that was the amazing SmackDown match between Io Sky and Bayley. Bayley, even though Bayley is face again, she didn't bring her hugger back, but she brought something better back. She brought something that was in tribute to her hometown, San Jose, a museum there, apparently. But she brought that into play. Great, amazing entrance by Bayley and an amazing match between Io and Bayley, with Bayley winning the championship for SmackDown, the SmackDown Women's Championship. Now, it would have been perfect if Becky and Bayley have won, But since Rhea won and Priest won, it's perfect for the Judgment Day to hold championship. But we didn't get two fourths of the horsewomen winning championships. But when Sasha wins the championship, or Monet wins the championship in AEW, they can post it together and break the fourth wall. But congratulations to Bayley. But if you think that was great, what about the main event? Both guys had great entrances. We saw Brandy make an entrance with Cody Rhodes, and I will just say this with humor. Brandy, we all love you and Cody, but don't try to be Brandy from the block because that is not your authentic self. That would be like Carlton Banks from Fresh Prince trying to talk like he's from the hood. Don't do that. Some stuff is not cultures. That's just trauma for some people. But that's not culture. You don't have to do that. So, Brandy, next time you get on the mic, please just be yourself. I just want to put that out there real quick. Maybe that is your authentic place, to be like the reality stars. I don't know. But to me, I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But to me, Brandy talking like Brandy from the block just doesn't seem authentic. Nonetheless, Brandy, it is great to see her making an appearance in the amazing entrance with Cody Rhodes, as Cody went in what will be, in my opinion, the match of the year. And if it is not the match of the year, it is one of the top 5 matches of the year, I believe. And the reason why I say that, because the match in itself was great when they fought each other. They fought in the crowd. They fought in the ring and up the ramp and all. But then when the first interference came from Solo Sikoa, John Cena made his return to an amazing pop. Before John Cena made his return to an amazing pop, Jimmy Uso came and tried to stop Cody's momentum, because keep in mind, it was Bloodline rules. But I never expected it to be how great it was. I believed that some way, somehow, Cody was going to get it done. I just didn't think it was going to happen the way it did, but I couldn't ask for anything more. You had Cody Rhodes fighting Roman. Then, by the way, WWE gave the permission slip to cuss tonight and last night. So I think I might, I'll keep my language clean. But we got to hear some uncensored profanity this weekend. Now, they censored it a little bit tonight, but Pat McAfee was allowed to say spit on the mic last night. So we got that. Pat McAfee got to be uncensored. Rock was uncensored last night, but he was a little censored tonight. Paul Heyman's speech was uncensored, but we had Jimmy Uso coming in to help Roman. And then Jay came out, speared him through the ramp. Then we had Solo come out. And then the return of John Cena to an amazing pop. And just when we thought it couldn't get any better, The Rock, the final boss, comes out, takes out John Cena, then gets ready to whip Cody so that he can give the blood to his mother, as he had been promising to do. And so he took the belt. He was about to give Cody a whipping, but guess who showed up? None other than that man, The Undertaker, to one of the greatest pops ever. Now, a lot of people were talking about what would have happened if Stone Cold Steve Austin showed up. And there were some saying that it might have been better if it was Stone Cold, since they were great rivals. But a lot of people may have thought it would have taken away from the moment, because it would have made it all about Stone Cold. But nonetheless, I was so happy. I don't know how the Stone Cold conversation came up, but seeing The Undertaker show up, The Rock, when that gong hit, The Rock had nightmares and flashbacks of how he got his butt kicked in 1999 at the King of the Ring, how he used to get his butt kicked in 2000 and 2001 by The Undertaker via Last Ride. Nonetheless, The Undertaker showed up. And if you look at The Rock, you know that The Rock is very tall and muscular and has a gigantic muscular head. But once we saw The Undertaker, it was then that we realized that The Undertaker is the biggest dog in the yard, because The Undertaker, being near 7 foot, made Rock look like a 6'3" guy. Whereas all the other times, The Rock looks like the tallest guy in the WWE, until The Undertaker showed up and reminded him that although he doesn't dress like Satan anymore and he might be down with Christ, he'll still go medieval on his behind. And he went medieval on The Rock. He reminded The Rock last night, and it was awesome. Leaving Cody Rhodes to go for the crossroads about 2-3 times and finish the story. Samantha was struggling to announce it. You can hear the emotion in Samantha's voice. And oh my goodness, everyone, including Seth Rollins, who came out as the Shield. For a minute, I thought Dean Ambrose was going to show up, to be honest with you. But Seth Rollins came out as the Shield. Oh my God. Couldn't ask for anything more. I couldn't ask for anything more. Best night. That was, beyond a shadow of a doubt, the best Sunday ever. Most of my favorite nights have happened on Saturdays. Consider Undertaker versus AJ Styles, best Saturday ending. Then you had Bianca versus Sasha, historic ending. Then you had the tag team match on Saturday, 5-star. Yesterday, best Sunday ending ever. Couldn't ask for anything more. 5 stars. Match of the year. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought about WrestleMania. I'm your host, Daniel Cody. The story is finished, and Cody Rhodes is about to rule SmackDown. Roman Reigns is probably going to take some much needed time off, and hopefully all is well with him with the leukemia thing. Really, for the real life situation, not from entertainment, but in real life, hopefully all is well. So, it's nothing more to say, guys. It's Cody's weekend. But who's going to show up? Do you guys still think MJF might show up on Raw or SmackDown? Let me know your thoughts. See you next time, folks. I'm your host, Daniel Cody. Have a great week.